There is a story to be told by everyone, a story of struggle, of triumph, of love, of passion. But things aren't always as they seem on the surface. To truly hear it, we must go beneath.
Hi, Mulan.
Hi. How are
Thank you
you
for joining me today.
Thank you for having me here.
I guess we were thinking the same thing. We're matching green.
We are.
That's so awesome.
We're thinking earthly.
We were thinking life. We were thinking life. That's right. I've been wanting to do this interview for quite a while. I have been wanting to share a transgender story for two reasons. Yeah, you're like, yes.
Yeah.
For two reasons. Number one, for the people who, I feel like there's a lot of misunderstanding. Well, actually, not understanding. As a matter of fact, I read some statistics recently, and it said that about 90%, this is in 2016, about 90% of people, Americans, know a gay person personally, but only 16% of Americans know a transgender.
Yep.
So therefore, when we're not actually coming in contact, we have a lot of misconceptions, and people are curious, and then that leads people, I think when we get to know a story, it's gonna make us judge less, you know? And then on top of that, the people who are actually struggling with those feelings and feel like, young and old, people who are struggling with it as teenagers and people who are struggling all their lives. And so I just wanted you to share that story because I know you have been very transparent on social media and you become a voice for the transgender community.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you. I mean, just to reach out to anybody that can watch this and gain some type of knowledge from it and gain some type of sense of being comfortable within themselves.
Yeah.
That's what I'm all here for.
I love that. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Mulan.
for having this platform for me to talk
Awesome.
and for you being here. You're so gorgeous.
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy that
you.
we can reconnected again.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was meant to be. It was meant to. We met like 5 years ago, just some random. So now we're actually on Beneath, sharing your story. So let's start as a child, and let's start talking about the feelings when you didn't feel like the outside matched the inside.
When I was younger, I always felt different from the normal, from what society was telling me that I needed to be, saying that I should like women or I should act a certain way because I was born with male genitalia. But like I said, as I was growing up, I was always more feminine and just always thought my idea of beauty was a feminine form, a woman. That was my idea of beauty. So with that being said, I wanted to project that. But younger, I didn't know what that was. I didn't know
Well,
what
you
it
said
was at
people
all.
called
Yeah.
you gay. People
Oh, yeah,
said
yeah.
you were
People
gay.
called me,
yeah,
people called me
because you had
gay.
such feminine qualities that people were, and you didn't know what gay was.
I didn't even know what gay was. Yeah, but all I knew was that was just me. And it just made me so confused growing up because, like I said, society was telling me different. And I was just so confused growing up. So growing up, I was very depressed. Being very depressed, I saw it within myself and then had to really dig deep and really, honestly, just love myself. Love myself, and with the message with that, loving yourself, you have to be comfortable with yourself and be comfortable with yourself and accept the cards that you are dealt, because you only have one life and that's your life. So whether you choose to be sad about it or happy about it, that's on you. So I chose to be happy about it, and I chose to do my homework, and I chose to get to know myself, really sat down and get to know myself and figure out why this was happening to me, and this is who I am now.
And so let's talk about the support that happens, because you did have a male figure in your life, but you didn't feel comfortable talking to your father, but you did have, because I really want to emphasize how important support is, because I think what happens is people feel so alone. Like you said, the depression, feeling like everybody else just happens to like the opposite sex that they are. Like I just happen to like men, you know, like, and on top of that, then I don't feel like what says on the outside, and how confusing and how isolating that can be. So tell me what you did for support, since you didn't have anybody to talk to. Tell me what you did.
Well, as I was searching down within, like you said, you have to find some type of support. I found it with my friend's parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend's parents were the most well, not all of them were, but you choose
Yeah.
who you get to be around.
It was one particular set of parents.
One particular set of parents that they just basically guided me as I grew up. They were so loving. They taught love and they preached love and they taught acceptance and they told me everything is going to be okay. You know,
No judgment. So when you said like I feel like I'm a boy, but I feel like I feel like I'm a girl, like, and they totally were talking you through that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was so amazing to have somebody that can preach that and that can teach somebody how to love growing up like that. And that's why I really want to do these documentaries, to preach the love and to let people know out there that there are people that you can reach out to, that if you really need it, that are here for you.
And so tell me, so that was such a blessing to have them in your life, and we hope that, I know your message is that you, when we were talking earlier, is that you encourage people to talk to whoever you need to find to talk to. So that depression, because there's also statistics that say almost 50% of transgender people try to commit suicide.
And I was there along those lines because I just felt like, well, if I'm not here, then, you know, why did God create me? And it went on to a whole deep spiral down a deep tunnel that, you know, no one ever needs to go down. They really don't. You know, God has put us here for a reason. You know, we're here for a reason. We have things to do. So I definitely think that if somebody ever feels that deep down, they need to really search and find a reason to live again, because that's what we're here for.
Well, so I know you said the main things were getting support, doing your research. I loved when you said that, like start to seek out, finding out what's going on with you. So talk about, as you got older, then talk about actually beginning to transition.
Oh yeah, transitioning. Transitioning with me was very.
So explain what transitioning is.
Transitioning is, well, when a human like I feels as if I don't belong in my body, we would be titled as transgender. Someone that,
and it can be either male or female.
Male or female. My transition happened really naturally. It started happening around my junior and senior year in high school. I was part of dancing, cheerleading, step team, student council, and I realized that you know, wearing makeup and, you know, having long hair and having the womanly body, it was just, like I said, it was my idea of beauty.
I love that you say that was my idea of beauty. That's what resonated with you, what made you feel beautiful and who you were.
So it started from that. I started growing my hair out.
Really? In high school?
In high school. I started growing my hair out. I started wearing skinny jeans.
That was hard in high school. That must have been hard. I'm thinking about any high school students that are watching this. That must have been, because high school students can be so cruel.
So cruel.
Was that hard to do?
It was hard to do, but I know there's kids out there that had it way worse than I did.
Yeah.
And to actually speak upon that, I just want to thank, you know, all the LGBT supporters and, you know, faces out there that in the past have put up with it, so I can be where I am today, you know, because they got it way worse than I did.
So you don't feel like it was as...
Oh no,
yeah.
I feel so grateful to be where I am today as a transgender person. At this day and time, because I do feel like I have it easier as a lot of them did back then. So I'm very, very, very blessed and very grateful.
It sounds like you were just sure that that's who you were. It sounds like you did your research and you're like, this is who I am. Yeah. So you grew your hair, and then talk about, because I know there's also transitional surgery that people can do. And not all transgender people want the transition surgery, correct? Yeah.
There, like I said, there's a vast amount of different type of people out there. There's transgender people that want to go all the way with the surgery. They want to be a full-fledged woman,
which means genitalia.
The genital reassignment surgery.
Reassignment,
And then there's people that love the life and love the idea of having the beauty and still having breast and male genitalia. Yeah, it's just about, to me, not really putting labels on everything. It's all really about finding who you love and loving yourself and knowing yourself.
And because I know we were talking earlier, and I said, like, a lot of times people are so curious about, like, well, what do you like? Do you like, now that you're a girl or that you identify as a woman, then do you like men or do you like? And your answer to that, I mean, you've been so open. You're more than willing to answer those questions, but you're also saying it's really not. Don't label.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Labels are very, very, I think they're obsolete. I think they should be obsolete. I think it's more or less for someone to, yes, to help them understand more, but to really understand is to accept. I mean, we're here, it's happening, it's right there in front of your face, you know. I think people that, if they just learn to accept and just love and try to understand why it's happening, then the world would be a lot easier. You know?
And so tell me about, because I know in order to transition, you actually have to visit a psychiatrist, correct?
Yes.
Is that standard in America that you
Yes,
have to? Okay.
that's standard in America. What my transition was, I went to...
Which, by the way, sorry to interrupt, but the I was researching too that all the major psychiatric associations in America do not consider it a mental disorder at all, which shows even more so that it has nothing to do with
the
being
mind.
confused in your brain, depression, or being mentally ill.
Not at
You know,
all.
because even the highest mental associations in America don't classify it, but yet they still want you to see a psychiatrist, which
just to make sure, just to make sure that you are content with what you want to do. That's all. They just...
And you agreed with that,
I
right?
definitely agree. I think it's fine that you should talk to somebody about how you feel and everything like that, even though it's just an extra step. But yeah, I think it's definitely great to have someone there to say that, oh yeah, she's level-minded, she can go ahead and do whatever she wants.
So when you went through that process, you went to go speak to someone, and then they have to give you the okay, like,
Yes,
yep,
ma'am.
this is something that she's journeyed through and she's ready for that.
Mine was actually pretty easy because I went ahead and got my breast done first.
Okay.
Usually a lot of transgender women, they start their hormone therapy a year or 2 years into before getting their breast done, so they can develop breast tissue and so it won't hurt as much.
Yeah.
Because when I did it, I knew that I wanted my breast done.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. So I went to California.
Breasts are fabulous.
They are.
God bless breasts.
God bless breasts.
I never really show my boobs in
Can we just give a minute to Jennifer's breast today, though?
No.
Yes, seriously.
Well, normally during interviews I try to be, but I was like, well, we're talking about feminine and masculine qualities today, so I decided to wear my feminine outfit.
I love it. I love you. You look gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
So
You're
good.
so sweet.
So I went ahead and got my breast done first.
Yeah.
Went ahead and got my breast done first, and then now finding out, after that I wanted to start my hormone therapy.
Yeah.
So I went to endocrinologist.
Wow.
Went there and they told me my steps were I had to get clarified by a therapist.
Okay.
They told me it'd take at least 6 to 9 months, and I told them
6 to 9 months until
to
they'll
clear
begin
it.
it. Oh, to clear
To
it.
clear
You have
me.
to talk to them
I
for
have
6
to
to
go
9 months.
through, a therapy.
Wow.
And which was easy for me because I didn't have to do that. Because I went in telling them like, hey, I've been living this lifestyle forever now. You can tell I got my breasts done.
Yeah.
I want that. This
Yeah.
is me. This is who I am.
Yeah.
So they just signed me off, and I started my hormone therapy right then and there.
And have you ever gone back and questioned, have I made the wrong decision, or have you ever struggled with, was that the right choice to make?
Throughout life, yes, I have.
I love that honest answer. Yeah.
Yes, I have. I mean, going through the transitions, I thought about, will people accept me now?
Yeah.
Will people see me the same? Or how will my dating lifestyle be? Or what is, how am I going to get work now? And
Wow.
a lot came into play. But I told myself that I had to be content with who I am. I I kept telling myself that's every day. This is who you are. This is what you love. There's nothing that you should stop you. No negativity at all. This is your life. You know, you should live it. So that's what really carried me through.
That was
just that mental note inside my head to keep telling to keep going.
Yeah. And I love that you brought up all of those factors, because we can look at you now and be like, look, she is who she is. But to hear those questions that you just asked yourself, what about my job? What about, will people accept me? The questions so all you did is every day, it's like, but it was so strong inside of you that it was like, I know that I know that I know that this is who I am. Yeah. Wow. That's so amazing. Thank you so much for your time today. Like, I really hope that people seek you out now, even more so on social media.
Follow me, Mulan Alexander. Instagram, social media. Mulan Alexander Nguyen.
Yeah. And then I just really appreciate your time coming and being transparent, and
thank you.
It's such a blessing. Yeah.
Thank you for, like I said again, having this platform and using your voice as well. You know, your voice and your image, and giving me the opportunity today to speak and give a little bit about myself.
Yeah. And my goal is just, even if we don't agree with things, let's just seek to understand.
Exactly.
You know, even if we don't understand, at least we can say, oh, I have some knowledge about that, you know, and on top of that, to help those people who are struggling through this, to make them feel not as alone, you know. So, all right. And she's a fabulous dancer, by the way, so you do need to follow her on social media. Like the twirling, I said, you're like Beyonce. Teach me how to twirl the hair, please. So.
I'm telling you, all you need to do is just buy you a fan.
Okay.
Buy you a fan and just stand in front just stand in front of the mirror and just be like, just give me Beyonce too.
That's hilarious. That's awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.